Hey y'all, it's Tuesday, which means it's Teaching Tuesday. Shout out to Coming Soon Jesus. Okay, and that's with Pastor Duke. So I hope y'all doing good. Okay, we're going to try to make this as quick as possible. We're going to jump right into Luke chapter 22, verse 34. And Jesus answered, I tell you, Peter, before the rooster crows today, you will deny me 3 times. Before the rooster crows today, you will deny 3 times that you know me. Okay? Luke 22, verse 34. Okay? So Peter is like, I'm not going to call him like the main disciple, but Peter's the disciple that we talk about a lot because Peter's always talking and it's important. So the Last Supper, set the scene. Last Supper, Jesus is like, look, one of y'all suckers is going to betray me. And like, well, who is it, Jesus? Like, who is it? He's like, it's the person that I'm going to dip the bread, pass it to him. And, he dipped the bread, passed it to Judas. Judas betrayed Jesus or whatever, right? Cool. But then, Peter is out here like, Lord, I love you. I'm willing to go to prison for you. Peter out here claiming to be a ride or die. But Jesus is like, no, I know you. And you are going to deny me 3 times before the day is even over. So, say that. But Peter like, nah, God, I love you. I'm not going to deny you. You know what I'm saying? We here, you going down, I'm going down. You feel me? We like that, okay? Now, a lot of times when people are talking about Judas and Peter, they're always like, there's some snakes in your circle. You never know who's going to betray you. But listen, sometimes we ourselves are Peter. I don't know about you, but when things are starting to get a little rough, I can feel a little Peterish, okay? Feeling a little Peterish. So, jumping down to that's Luke 22, verse 54. So, they seizing him, they led him away and took him to the house of the high priest. Seizing him, Jesus at this point is arrested and they're taking him. So Peter followed at a distance. Listen, Peter followed at a distance. That's important. Peter wasn't right there, trying to fight it out or stand up for Jesus. He was following at a distance. Distant. He back there. You going down. He told you he was a ride or die, but he at a distance. Continuing on with the story, Peter was at a distance. A little girl had seen Peter. She's like, oh, he was with him. He like, no, I'm not. No, I was not. Then somebody else sees Peter. What are you talking about? And then, look, a man called him out and said, you are a Galilean. That is you. And Peter is like, I don't know who this person is that you speak of, but that's not me, okay? It's not me. Who is Peter? My name is Kevin. Like, what you saying? That part cracked me up so much. I can imagine Peter like, man, no, I'm not. And when people be lying, they get loud and stuff. They start yelling because they lying. But who you trying to convince? Me or yourself? But anyway, before you get to judging Peter, sometimes some of us are like that. We tell God, look, I love you, Lord. Look, and I love myself. And I'm never going to mess with him again. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I told God I was never going to mess with my ex again, child. But then my money started getting a little funny. And he hit me up one day. And and I'm like, Lord, I love you. So I'm not going to mess up. But then I got sucked in. And I started doing things that would, probably infer that I'm denying who Jesus is. But moving forward, let's talk about when the man called Peter a Galilean. Now, this part where he said, you're from Galilee. Galilee is where Peter is from. So, not only is Peter denying who Jesus is, Peter is also denying who he himself is and what his position is. You know what I'm saying? And when you look up what Galilee means a church or the entrance to the church or English churches. And remember how I told you guys, Peter was like the lead disciple, main disciple. When people wanted to come talk to the disciples or want to go find Jesus, typically the person they went to go find was Peter. That's what they went to go look for. Peter's position was to be that mouthpiece, that entrance Okay? That's what Peter's position was. But when things got a little rough, Peter started denying who he was. And we ourselves can do that. But at this time, when Peter has now denied him, this is at the same time where Jesus is about to be crucified. So Peter denying Jesus and Jesus hearing him deny him was basically the last interaction that they had before Jesus was taken to go to the cross. So imagine that. You tell somebody that you're a ride or die, they hear you not being a ride or die, and that is the last interaction that you hear before they actually die. And so Peter is all tore up on the inside, and he's like, man, I have denied Jesus, I've denied myself, I've denied who I am supposed to be, I've denied my position, and Jesus is now dead. So he has to go through this period of waiting and dealing with what he has done, and it's not a long period, Jesus died, 3 days later he rose, whatever. Cool. So then Jesus has risen, comes back, we out here, and so we're going to jump to John chapter 21 and it's verse 15. And the title of that section is Jesus Reinstates Peter. And this reinstating part blessed me so much because when you look at reinstate, it means to restore something to its former position. Jesus restored Peter to his former position. Some of us were right where Peter is in this moment where we messed up and we had to deal with the guilt and the shame of what we had done. And now God is ready to restore you. But when Jesus is talking to Peter, he says, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Well, feed my lambs. Take care of my sheep. He's not talking about physical animals. He's talking about his people. Like, I know he was talking to me with this part. Like, God called me to be a mouthpiece. So, yeah, I fell off. But I can't stay there. And at the same time, Jesus already knew he was going to mess up. God already knew. God already knows me and what my issues are and where I'm going to mess up, but I can't stay in it. That's the part. You can't stay in it. And I'll end Teaching Tuesday with this. You messed up. You fell off. You went through your waiting period, your period of getting this together. Now that you realize the importance of your position, are you ready to be reinstated? And that is Teaching Tuesday, okay? Don't judge Peter, because we all been there, okay? If anybody has any prayer requests, you can send me a DM on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. My Instagram is vness_. And I hope you guys have a blessed week.